I took my sister's phone for repair. The text said, "Cancel your cards and change the locks." My name is Cassidy, and I stood in that phone repair shop holding my sister's cracked iPhone like it was evidence in a crime scene. The tech guy, mid-20s, tattoo sleeve, the kind who'd seen everything, looked up at me with this expression I'll never forget. Not pity, not judgment, just raw concern. "Listen," he said quietly, leaning closer. "I'm not supposed to tell you this, but cancel your credit cards, change every lock in your house, and whatever you do, don't let her know you found out." My hands started shaking. Found out what? Have you ever felt the exact moment your entire world shifted on its axis? Let me back up. My sister Emma was my best friend. Not the kind of best friend people say they have. I mean the real kind. The kind forged in the aftermath of our parents' death when I was 19 and she was 16. The kind where I dropped out of college to raise her, worked 2 jobs to keep our childhood home, sat through every parent-teacher conference, every boyfriend crisis, every midnight panic attack. I wasn't just her sister. I became her mother, her father, her entire safety net. Emma was brilliant, not just smart, genuinely gifted. She got a full scholarship to state, majored in graphic design, had this infectious laugh that could light up a funeral. When she graduated, she moved back home temporarily. That was 3 years ago. I didn't mind. The house felt less empty with her there. My fiance Marcus didn't mind either. He'd say Emma was like the little sister he never had. Marcus and I had been together for 4 years. We met at the bank where I'd finally landed a decent job as a loan officer after years of night school. He was a financial advisor, tall and charming with this way of making you feel like the only person in the room. He proposed on the anniversary of our parents' death, said he wanted to turn the saddest day of my life into the happiest. I said yes through tears. We were supposed to get married in 6 months. The invitations were ordered. The venue was booked. Emma was my maid of honor. Everything seemed perfect. That should have been my first clue. The phone thing happened on a Tuesday. Emma had left early for a job interview. She'd been freelancing, but wanted something steady. She forgot her phone on the kitchen counter, and it kept buzzing. Normally I wouldn't have looked, but one notification caught my eye. A calendar alert that said, "Apartment viewing 2 p.m." Apartment viewing? She hadn't mentioned moving out. Then the screen lit up again with a text preview from someone named M. "Can't wait to finally have our own place, baby." My stomach dropped. M? Marcus? No, that was insane. I was being paranoid. Emma probably had a boyfriend she hadn't told me about yet. Some guy whose name started with MM of Matthew, Michael, Mason. But my hands picked up the phone anyway. The screen was completely shattered. She'd dropped it 2 days ago. Half the display didn't work. "I'll get it fixed," she'd said. "Payday's Friday." But I had Friday off, and the repair place was on my way to the gym, so I offered to take it. Just being a good sister. The repair guy said it'd take an hour. I grabbed coffee, walked around Target, came back. He had this look on his face. "I need to show you something," he said. When I replaced the screen, the phone rebooted, and look, I'm really sorry. He turned the phone toward me. The lock screen photo had changed during the reboot, reverted to a default from her photo library. It was Emma and Marcus, kissing, not a friendly peck, a deep, intimate couple-type kiss. Marcus's hand was on her waist, her arms around his neck. They were standing in front of a bathroom mirror, my bathroom mirror, the one in the master bedroom Marcus and I shared, wearing matching fluffy robes. My vision tunneled. "There's more," the text said quietly. He looked genuinely upset for me. The phone automatically backed up when it connected to our Wi-Fi. Some messages came through. I didn't read them on purpose, but they popped up. "I'm really sorry." He showed me. Messages between Emma and Marcus going back 18 months. 18 months. A year and a half of "I love yous." And "can't wait until she's at work." And "we just have to be patient a little longer." Plans to take over the house after the wedding. I'd stupidly put Marcus on the deed 6 months ago, and Emma was already on it from inheritance. Plans to slowly push me out, plans to make me look unstable so I'd voluntarily move out. There was a message from 3 weeks ago. Cassidy signed the new life insurance policy. 500K. We just have to wait until after the wedding. Can't look suspicious. I stopped breathing. I have kids, the repair tech said. If someone was planning to hurt my sister like this, I'd want to know. You need to protect yourself. Right now. I don't remember walking to my car. I don't remember the drive home. I was on autopilot, my brain both racing and completely blank. When I pulled into the driveway, both their cars were there. Middle of a Tuesday afternoon, Emma's job interview day, Marcus's client meeting afternoon. I sat in my car for 20 minutes, just staring at the house I'd bled for. The house I'd worked 16-hour days to keep. The house where I'd raised my baby sister and built a life with a man I thought loved me. Then something crystallized in my mind. Cold, clear, focused. I wasn't going to cry. I wasn't going to scream. I wasn't going to give them the satisfaction of my pain. I was going to bury them. I drove to the bank first, withdrew exactly half of our joint savings, $37,000, opened a new account at a different bank in only my name, transferred my direct deposit. Then I went to the lawyer we'd hired for estate planning after I inherited the house. I told him I wanted to update my will and remove Marcus as power of attorney. Getting married soon, I said smoothly. Want to make sure everything's perfect first. He didn't question it. Next stop, a private investigator. I'd Googled on the way over, found someone with good reviews. I showed him everything from Emma's phone. I'd taken photos of the photos. I need documentation, I said. Dated, time-stamped, legal. And I need to know if there's more I don't know about. He was expensive. $5,000 for a comprehensive investigation. I paid cash. How long? I asked. 2 weeks for a full report. But honestly, he looked at the messages. You've already got enough here to protect yourself legally. This is just insurance. I want the insurance. I went home, walked in the door. Emma was on the couch watching Netflix. Marcus was in the kitchen making his protein shake. Both of them jumped slightly when I entered. Guilty reflexes they'd learned to hide. Hey, babe! Marcus came over, kissed my cheek. How was your day? I smiled, looked him right in the eyes. Productive, really productive. For the next 2 weeks, I was an actress worthy of an Oscar. I played the excited bride-to-be. I discussed flower arrangements with Emma. I had sex with Marcus like nothing was wrong. I laughed at dinner. I made breakfast. I asked Emma about her job search and Marcus about his difficult clients. Every single day, I felt like I was wearing someone else's skin. But I didn't break, not once. Meanwhile, the PI worked. And oh, did he work. Turns out Marcus had been stealing from me in ways I hadn't even discovered. He'd opened credit cards in my name. I had excellent credit from years of being financially paranoid. Maxed them out. Almost $70,000 in debt I didn't know existed. The bills went to his office address. He'd also taken out a personal loan using the house as collateral, forged my signature. That was another 50 grand. Gone. Emma? She'd been freelancing all right, designing social media content for Marcus's investment company, which was a borderline pyramid scheme. They'd been funneling money into offshore accounts, planning to leave the country after I was taken care of. The life insurance thing? That was real. Marcus had suggested it during wedding planning. We should protect each other, he'd said. I thought it was romantic, responsible. I'd signed everything he put in front of me because I trusted him. The PI discovered something else. Emma had been catfishing my parents' old friends on social media, pretending to need loans for my medical expenses. Said I had cancer and was too proud to ask for help. She collected almost $40,000. People who'd loved my parents, who'd checked on us after the funeral, who'd sent graduation cards. She'd scammed them all using my tragedy. I took everything to a lawyer, not our lawyer, a new one. A woman with a reputation for destroying people in court. This is almost too easy, she said, reviewing the files. Financial fraud, identity theft, conspiracy, emotional fraud. We can bury them in civil court, and I'll make sure the DA sees the criminal side too. What do you want? Everything, I said. I want every single thing they tried to take from me: the house, the money, their freedom, their future, everything. Done. The wedding was 3 weeks away when I made my move. I'd planned it like a military operation, told Marcus and Emma I was going on a bachelorette weekend with work friends. They were thrilled. More time alone together. I even helped Emma pick out lingerie for her mysterious new boyfriend. She hugged me, said I was the best sister in the world. I didn't go on any trip. Instead, I had the locks changed. All of them. Garage code 2. I had a security system installed with cameras, indoor and outdoor. I had Marcus's name removed from the deed. My lawyer had discovered the addition was done with forged documents, so reversing it was easy. I filed restraining orders against both of them. I submitted everything to the police, let them decide about criminal charges. I canceled the wedding, sent a mass email to every single guest with a brief explanation and screenshots of the most damning messages. I posted the whole thing on Facebook, tagged every mutual friend, every family member on Marcus's side. Then I packed all of Emma's stuff into boxes and put them in a storage unit, prepaid for 1 month. I put all of Marcus's belongings on the lawn: every suit, every shoe, every stupid protein powder container. I printed out the most incriminating messages and taped them to his car. And then I waited. They came home around 11 p.m. I watched on the security cameras from my lawyer's office. She'd insisted I not be there in case things got violent. Marcus tried his key first. Didn't work. Tried again, looked confused, rang the doorbell, knocked. Emma tried her key. Nothing. That's when Marcus saw his stuff on the lawn. I'll never forget watching him read those messages on his windshield. His face went white. He started pacing, pulled out his phone, showed Emma. She put her hand over her mouth. They tried calling me, 37 times between them. I blocked both numbers. Marcus tried to break down the door. The new security system immediately called the police. I'd set it to do that for any forced entry attempt. Cops showed up in 8 minutes, saw the restraining order paperwork taped to the front door, told Marcus and Emma they had to leave. Emma tried to explain, cried, said I was being crazy, that she was my sister, that she lived here. The cops ran her ID, saw the restraining order, told her she could contest it in court, but right now, she had to go. Marcus got belligerent, almost got arrested. Emma had to drag him away. I watched all of it on camera, sitting in my lawyer's office drinking tea, feeling absolutely nothing. The next morning, I went home. The house was quiet, mine, finally completely mine. I walked through every room, touching walls, remembering who I'd been when my parents were alive, who I'd become after. All the pieces of myself I'd given away to take care of Emma, to build a life with Marcus. All the trust I'd offered so freely. My phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. You bitch! Emma's voice shaking with rage. You absolute bitch! After everything I've been through? After you promised to always take care of me? You mean after I gave up my entire youth to raise you? My voice was calm, cold. After I worked myself to exhaustion so you could go to college? After I loved you more than anyone else in the world? I loved him first, she screamed. I met Marcus first at a coffee shop months before you did. But he saw you and he wanted you instead, and you just took him like you take everything. And I had to sit there and watch. So you seduced my fiance and planned to steal my house and maybe get me killed for insurance money? I laughed. Actually laughed. Emma, do you hear yourself? We weren't actually going to... She stopped. Going to what? Kill me? You just wanted the money? I sat down on the couch. Here's what's going to happen. The police have everything. The DA is reviewing charges for fraud, identity theft, conspiracy to commit insurance fraud. You're both looking at felony charges. I'm suing you both in civil court for every penny you stole, forged, and scammed. You'll be paying me back for the rest of your miserable lives. Cassidy, the people you catfished, mom and dad's friends, I contacted every single one, told them the truth, sent them your information. Some of them are filing their own charges. Please? Now she was crying. You have 1 month of storage paid for. After that, your stuff goes to Goodwill. Lose my number, lose my address. If you ever contact me again, I'll add harassment to the list. I hung up. Marcus tried a different approach, sent emails, long ones, about how he'd made mistakes, but he loved me, how we could work through this, how Emma had seduced him, and he was weak, but he was sorry. I forwarded every single one to my lawyer and the police. His parents called, said I was ruining their son's life over a misunderstanding. I sent them the screenshots. They stopped calling. Emma tried to turn our extended family against me, sent them messages about how I'd abandoned her, thrown her out over a mistake, how she was homeless because of me. I'd already sent them all the proof. They blocked her. The legal process took 8 months. Marcus was charged with identity theft, fraud, and forgery, pleaded guilty to avoid prison time, got 5 years probation, massive fines, and a criminal record that destroyed his financial advisor career. The civil suit awarded me $123,000 in damages. He'll be paying me monthly for the next 15 years. Emma got charged with wire fraud for the catfishing scheme, also pleaded guilty, 3 years probation. She has to pay restitution to everyone she scammed, plus $50,000 to me for emotional damages and attempted theft. She's working at a call center now. Her design career never recovered. I made sure everyone in the industry knew what she'd done. The life insurance company investigated and found the suspicious policy. They flagged Marcus's name in their system. He'll never be able to take out a policy on anyone again. I kept the house, refinanced to remove any trace of Marcus from the paperwork, redecorated, made it mine in a way it never was before. The wedding deposits were non-refundable, but honestly, worth every penny. People ask if I regret how I handled it, if I feel bad about destroying them so completely. I don't. They didn't feel bad planning to destroy me. They didn't feel bad about the 18 months of lies. They didn't feel bad about stealing from people who'd mourned my parents with me. I gave Emma everything after Mom and Dad died. I gave Marcus my whole heart. They chose to light it all on fire. I just made sure they burned with it. 6 months after everything settled, I was grocery shopping when I ran into the phone repair tech. He recognized me immediately. "Hey," he said carefully. How are you?" I smiled, a real smile. "I'm good, really good. Thank you for what you did that day." "I didn't do much. You did everything. You gave me the truth when no one else would. You warned me when you didn't have to." I paused. "You probably saved my life." He looked relieved. "I'm glad you're okay." More than okay. And I was. I started therapy, worked through the betrayal, the anger, the grief, not just for Marcus and Emma, but for my parents, for my lost youth, for the version of myself who trusted too easily. I learned that kindness isn't weakness, but it needs boundaries. That love without self-respect is just self-destruction in a prettier package. I got promoted at work, bought a dog, a rescue mutt named Chaos who sleeps on my bed and doesn't care about my past. I traveled, took a solo trip to Ireland, something I'd always wanted to do, but put off because Marcus hated flying. I made new friends. Real ones. People who showed up when life got hard, who celebrated my successes without jealousy, who loved me without wanting to consume me. And slowly, the house stopped feeling like a crime scene. It became a home again. My home. 1 year after everything imploded, I was sitting on my back porch with coffee, watching the sunrise, when I realized something. I was happy. Not the performance of happiness I'd been putting on during those 2 weeks of investigation. Not the desperate, prove I'm okay happiness of the first few months after. Just genuinely, quietly happy. The betrayal hadn't destroyed me. It had freed me. I'd spent so many years taking care of everyone else, being what everyone needed. The responsible older sister, the devoted fiance, the hard worker, the good girl who did everything right. But doing everything right for the wrong people is just another way of doing everything wrong. Emma sent me a letter on the anniversary of the day I threw them out. No return address. It was long, full of justifications and half apologies and subtle blame. She said she'd been in therapy too, that she understood now that she'd been acting out childhood trauma, that what she really needed was for me to release my anger and start the healing process by forgiving her. I read it once. Then I burned it in my fireplace. Some people don't deserve forgiveness. Some bridges should stay burned. Some doors should stay locked. And that's okay. Forgiveness isn't always the path to peace. Sometimes peace comes from accepting that some people will never understand what they took from you, will never become who you needed them to be, will never give you the closure you want. Sometimes you have to give yourself closure. I did that by choosing me. Finally, completely, unapologetically choosing me. Marcus tried to friend request me on LinkedIn 2 years later. I blocked him immediately. Emma sent flowers to my work on my birthday last year. No card. I donated them to a nursing home. They still try sometimes, in small ways, to worm back into my life, to test the boundaries, to see if enough time has passed for me to forget what they did. But I remember everything. And I always will. Not because I'm stuck in the past, but because remembering protects my future. I eventually started dating again, carefully, slowly, with boundaries that would have seemed paranoid to old Cassidy, but feel perfectly reasonable now. I told my therapist I was worried I'd never trust anyone again. You don't need to trust everyone, she said. You just need to trust yourself to know the difference between people who've earned it and people who haven't. That changed everything. I met someone eventually, a teacher named Ryan who had kind eyes and a therapy dog and no interest in my house or my money, who laughed at my dark jokes about background checks, who let me move at my own pace, who said I love you and didn't follow it up with a request for access to my bank account. We're taking it slow. Maybe it'll work out. Maybe it won't. But for the first time in my life, I'm okay with either outcome. Because I know now that I can survive anything, that I'm not who I am because of what others do to me. I'm who I am because of how I choose to respond. Emma and Marcus tried to make me a victim. Instead, they made me unbreakable. Sometimes I think about what would have happened if that repair tech hadn't told me the truth. If he just fixed the phone and handed it back, kept his head down, avoided the drama. I'd be married to Marcus now, probably getting suspicious about money disappearing, probably being gaslit about my paranoia, maybe dead in a convenient accident. One stranger's moment of moral courage saved my entire life. I think about that a lot, about the weight of small choices, about how doing the right thing when it's easier to do nothing can ripple outward in ways we never see. I found out later that the repair tech lost his job for violating privacy policies by showing me Emma's phone contents. Marcus filed a complaint. I hired him to be my personal IT guy, paid him triple what the repair shop did. He works remotely now, manages tech for several small businesses I connected him with. Sometimes the universe balances out. Not always. Not for everyone, but sometimes. I'm 32 now, the age my mom was when she died. Sometimes I talk to her picture, tell her about what happened. I used to worry she'd be disappointed I cut Emma off. But I don't think she would be. I think she'd be proud I chose myself, that I didn't let anyone, not even family, not even love, make me smaller than I am. My parents didn't die, so I could raise their other daughter to betray me. They didn't work hard and save money, so Emma could steal from me and strangers could be defrauded in their memory. Honoring their memory means protecting what they left behind, including myself. I got a tattoo last month, small, on my wrist. It says mine for the house, for my life, for my peace, for my future. All of it, finally completely mine. People love to talk about forgiveness like it's the only noble ending. Like holding people accountable is the same as being bitter. Like protecting yourself from people who hurt you is the same as being cold. But there's another kind of strength in walking away and never looking back. There's power in being the villain of someone else's sob story if it means being the hero of your own survival. Emma probably tells people I'm heartless, that I destroyed her over one mistake, that I'm vindictive and cruel. Good. Let her tell that story. Let people believe it. The ones who matter will ask questions, will want proof, will see through it. The ones who don't, I don't need them anyway. I used to think family was everything. That blood meant you owed people endless chances. That love meant accepting betrayal if it came wrapped in apology. Now I know better. Family is who shows up, who protects you, who chooses you back. Blood doesn't make you family. Loyalty does. Emma was my blood, but she stopped being my family the moment she looked at my fiance and decided she wanted him more than she wanted me. And that's on her, not me. I saved myself. That's not revenge. That's self-preservation. And I'd do it again. Every single time. The house is quiet tonight. Chaos is snoring next to me. Rain is tapping at the windows. I'm drinking tea and thinking about booking a trip to New Zealand. Just because I can. This is my life now. Not the one I planned. Not the fairy tale I thought I was building. But mine. Genuinely, completely, beautifully mine. And that's better than any revenge. Because the best revenge isn't destruction. It's becoming so whole that what they tried to take from you no longer defines what you have to give.